damn. And it's vodka.
And it's vodka.
Vodka doesn't really agree with me.
Alrighty.
Uh-oh.
30 minutes later. Ooh.
I'm more tequila, but it's all good. It's all good.
Cheers. Cheers,
Cheers, salud.
Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
Come by.
Woo.
Oh, that's a burner.
Delicious.
It's not the best vodka.
My favorite
I've
way of
brought to a place
hydration.
before.
Hey, no, it's all good. Hey, the thought that counts, bro.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Welcome back to another episode.
Episode 4, baby.
Episode
Episode 5. Sorry. Fourth guest.
Fourth guest.
Fourth guest.
Welcome, Sean Khari, amazing musician, DJ. He brought us a very wonderful gift that we just enjoyed with him.
Thank you.
for
He's
having
in the
me.
building. He's in the
Yeah, of
building.
course.
He's in the building.
Alrighty, man. So, you are a musician as well. You do play instruments, right? As
Yeah.
well as being a DJ. You play. I've seen you play guitar, keyboard. What else do you play?
Mainly those two.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I was growing up, my parents forced me to play piano. And I wasn't like a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Little did I know, like, music would become everything for me. So it kind of piano, guitar, and then it's kind of weird when you're an electronic music producer, like synthesizers become an instrument. So I can play like a bunch of different synths, but you don't learn it like you would in an instrument, you know? But yeah, so that's like my forte. I've been producing for like quite a while, but right now I'm focusing on like electronic music and dance music.
How did you move from learning piano to wanting to do electronic music?
Yeah, that's
Big
a good
big genre
question.
jump.
Yeah, so actually it started when I was really young. When I was like 15, Avicii and like all those super big dance artists were blowing up.
Yeah.
And I was a kid, you know, and it just caught my ear. I actually remember the first song that I ever heard that was electronic. It was Satisfaction by Benny Benassi.
Yeah.
And I remember being like
That's
just
crazy.
absolutely
Like in
enamored by
awe.
it.
Like,
Yeah. And then I started getting more into EDM, dance, like the pop kind of stuff on the
Yeah.
radio. At 15, I started DJing like family parties. I remember the first DJ, like the first time I DJ'd, it was like my cousin's party, and I went and like rented speakers, and I didn't even have like a turntable. I was on my laptop like, with my finger. But then I caught a bug. I started DJing family parties just from there. Kind of grew. I made a business out of it, which was super fun. I was like at a young age to be doing that.
yeah, that's always the goal too. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know it at the beginning.
True,
right?
true.
But then eventually, you're like, wait, I can do this like.
yeah.
What was that moment then that switched? Like, was there an event or there was like
Yeah,
a
it was the
moment
first
when you're
time
like,
someone paid me. It was
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
So the first like I don't know 5 parties I was I would like just kind of do it for free. It was families or like
Yeah,
yeah, of
family
course.
friends, and then for my 16th birthday, my mom went to Costco or Sam's Club and she bought this DJ set that they were selling.
Nice.
So she got me like a little mini turntable, some speakers, like just like the basic setup.
Yeah.
And then I did a party and got paid for it. They paid me like $200.
Nice.
Easy.
And then I was like, okay. I went to Vistaprint. I got some
Nice Vista print.
some little cards made. I still have like a box of them. They're really cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember I had to make that shit for high school. Like that was one of our like assignments. I don't know. Our technical director went to the same high school. We did the same thing. We had to go to like Vistaprint and like get our own
Was it
like.
for like a media
so
class?
funny.
Or like,
Yeah, because we did the film and television, so we were doing like marketing ourselves and shit.
That's
so we had to
awesome.
like
Yeah.
Vistaprint was like always
It's
like,
funny,
the
can you get the gloss? Or,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
exactly,
I don't
exactly.
have money. Like,
and you always do like the default design, like whatever they have. It's
Absolutely.
like it's
Yeah.
easy.
So yeah, so that was it.
So your parents were pretty supportive then of you wanting to take it seriously, like as your career.
Yeah, I think, well, it was kind of a interesting road.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing it for friends and family, I think they thought of it as like a hobby, and I was still in high school, so it was like he's doing something constructive.
Yeah.
Once I went to college, I really started to like take it seriously, and when I was gonna graduate college, I told them I'm gonna go to a continuing education to go to this school called Icon Collective, which is like my dream music academy.
Dope.
And that's when they were kind of like, okay, this is a big shit.
Yeah, it's a big leap.
Did they think, were they under the impression that you were pursuing something else?
What do you mean with school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first went to school, I went to go like pre-med, and I did all that stuff. I was gonna go be a doctor or an optometrist. And then I think halfway through college, I realized,
oh no,
it does not suit my personality at
said,
all.
oh no.
Yeah. So I mean, I finished school, frankly, just for them.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, just
Yeah.
also they were supporting me, and I just needed to make sure I finished that for them. You know.
Definitely.
But I told myself once I graduate college, I need to give it a shot. You know, like I need to just try and see if I can make my passion happen. So.
When you were younger, what kind of music? Because you said you'd play the piano and all that. Were you into classical music, or were you into like R&B, hip hop? Like what?
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like a mix, like R&B and pop.
Yeah.
Like I remember like listening to Usher as a kid.
My God, Confessions.
Bring
it back to Confessions.
And like even like Jason Mraz.
Oh my God.
I think was the most played song. Like Nano, like
iPod Touch, iPod Nano, that mini shit.
Yeah, so I loved very melodic stuff. I think that's you know, it's interesting. I was talking to my friend about this. There are like two kinds of people when it comes to music. Okay. Like we all know them too. Like there's the people who they know all the words to a song. And then there's the people who like they know all the melodies. So I don't know if you guys, maybe you guys are those people, but like I just know I have friends that like they can say every verse to every song, like when they're like drunk at a party, and I see them like rapping in the corner, and I can't do that actually. So as much as I love music, I can never remember any lyrics. I remember melodies. So when I'm in the car, my friends always like laugh if I hear the first like 1 second of a song, I immediately know what the song is, even if it's just like a sound. So it's just like, and I think maybe that's why I started leaning towards electronic. It's based on that, you know.
No, for sure. I think I'm both because I'm a dancer, so I think I'm used to the melody, like the rhythm, and then I don't dance as
like music too.
I just like music as like as a whole, and then I think as I got older, like the lyrics became more into my brain. I think I'm a mix of both. I feel like
I think I'm mostly the words.
What do you think like? When you think of music that is the most like important to you, like are they songs that have a lot of meaning, or are they songs that like you feel the most, like in terms of like rhythm and just sound?
For me, it's definitely the feel.
Okay.
Like every time if I hear a song, like if I feel the beat and like the rhythm and the melody and it's good, then it's dope, and then I'll learn the lyrics.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm the same way.
I think it's what the song's about.
Really?
For it to be important. Like I like songs that I just like the music.
But
too,
like what song like clicks to you immediately? Like do you listen to the like do you listen to the lyrics first, or like the melody has?
Or like Giveon.
Okay.
Like that's all like what the song is about for me. You know?
Okay.
It's like I love the music. I like musicality, but like that would be important to me because of what the song's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Giveon is a very like substance based artist. In terms of like lyrically.
Yeah.
I saw him at Coachella this last year.
You were there?
Yeah.
We were both there.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Are you going this year too?
Absolutely.
I'll see you there.
I'll be camping. If you guys want to come visit the tent.
Yeah.
We're going in a group. I think Milad's coming.
Yeah. I'm convinced this guy to come.
Come. What we do is we go into like Arya is leading like this caravan.
Yeah.
We get there at 12 o'clock midnight on Wednesday.
Yeah. We did that last year.
We drive in like at the beginning, so we're right at the gate.
Yeah,
it's the best. It's so fun.
We sent Arya a picture of our car camping spot last year, and Arya's like, I don't think you could have gotten a better spot. Like we got front row before preferred parking.
But break it down though. You went like Thursday day.
No, we went what he's saying. We went Wednesday at like midnight.
Oh, you went Wednesday?
We were there for a whole day without a festival.
Yeah, so the key is to like be on the watch for when you start seeing everyone on the move.
Yeah.
Because the line, even when you're there at midnight, the line is like 3 hours.
That's insane. I didn't even know you can camp in your car until last year when he did it. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know that was a thing because I never been to Coachella till last year. But I didn't even go really. I went to work like to film for an artist, and which was amazing. Which is why I don't know if I want to
do it again.
Yeah, I want to do it again
awesome.
for like for free. I don't know if I want to spend 600 bands on it. So
yeah. Well, if you do come. Please come visit our site. If you go camping, I'll come visit you.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
What's the first thing, talking about performances and stuff, like as a viewer, and then we'll go to a question as a DJ. As a viewer, what's the first thing you notice, or like as a performer, like what do you notice and what do you like?
That's a great question. This exact question was something that I first asked myself at Coachella this year. So because I started when you go to like a festival like Coachella where you have basically a series of incredibly high caliber artists.
Yeah.
So artists who are used to like talking to a stadium back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
You notice patterns between them.
Yeah.
And so something I noticed is I feel like someone's even like training these people, like these artists. It feels like that.
Yeah.
So what they do is there's like a rhythm. So they always start out with like a really hype song, like something to get people going.
Yeah.
And then immediately they just start interacting with the audience. So I really like audience interaction when it seems genuine.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best way as an artist to connect with your
Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
So I loved when like I was at Coachella, they would be singing their song, doing their thing, and then there would be like 5 minutes of just them rambling and being themselves.
For sure.
And you would just see everyone is like, you know, falling in love with this artist.
Definitely.
So that stands out to me. Like as a viewer, I like when the artist is actually showing their personality and it's not too much of like this persona.
You get to know the artist too that way.
Yeah, you get to know the art. Yeah, a lot of people recent days. We talked about this last season too, but recent like with social media, like people love the authenticity of everything. So like when they talk to you, I think that is the key for sure. But as a performer now, what is like the number one thing you think about? Like, is it the set list you have, or is it the like the timing of it? Like the
absolutely.
What's the first thing that comes to, like, how do you prepare?
So I try to think of it from like the audience's perspective.
So you go back as a viewer.
Yeah, because I played, for example, this club in LA called Exchange.
I was just gonna bring that up right after this.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Congrats on that, bro. That's huge.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was the first show that like it was me, you know.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It was awesome, and I had my friends come out, some people come out, and I was thinking when I was preparing like what, and I'll even say I made some mistakes too, looking back at it.
Definitely,
but the main question that I was kind of asking myself was, if I'm coming to see Sean perform, what do I want to see? Like, do I want to see some of his music? I want to see some of his stuff. Do I also want to be like entertained with something that I already know, something familiar? Also, like, what's something new that I want to experience? And I think that's the number one thing with DJ culture and like house music, is it's something that calls back to old kind of motifs from like the 80s. You notice a lot of samples from like back in the day, but then it's also like mixed with this new sound that like, everyone kind of goes, oh, like. So I tried to do a lot of that. I played a lot, like I played Kanye remixes, bootlegs. Like I did a couple like remixes of different songs, and I took old classics like Kanye stuff that I loved, and then I was like, okay, here's a spin on that. And so that's what I was thinking. Like, let me show them something they haven't seen before.
I like that. I like that. Going back, I'm not gonna lie. That shot actually, it's kicking a little bit.
Beautiful, good.
That's why I don't drink vodka. This is why I don't drink vodka. I had a question.
It's okay. It'll come back.
But it's gonna come back.
No? What do you struggle with the most as a DJ?
That's really that's.
And with that question, it came back. With that question, it came back. I got it.
All right.
Oh, no, but you answer this one.
Yeah, sure. I think, like, in today's world, it's really easy to see sometimes, like, what the easiest path to success is. Like, you can look at, like, a Logan Paul kind of route, which is you can make kind of shock content, and it's really easy to do that.
Yeah.
And you could get like bad publicity and then convert that to
good publicity,
and then make a brand.
All publicity is good publicity.
And I struggle with that kind of think. Yeah. And so I try to make stuff that's authentic. But I also struggle with like, okay, like how do I make this entertaining for other people? Right. As an artist, I think a lot of the time we get caught up in our own thoughts of like, I think this is great, so other people should think this is great. But it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have to kind of find the balance of, I think this is great, and I also think that the people listening to this will appreciate this, and marry those two. So I struggle with that a lot. Like when I'm making these like videos, like I'm not just thinking about what I want to make. I also have to consider like
the audience.
Every 4 seconds, I need a new like angle.
Like,
all these like tips and tricks. And it's like
it's a game.
It gets in the way of what you want to make.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. It's a little game you have to like finesse your way into and find that middle ground and marry the two, like you said. With that question came back to me. It's funny that you're on because I just watched. I don't know if are you familiar with Cody Co?
Yeah.
So he just I don't know if he just posted it, but I just watched his video where he becomes a DJ.
Yeah.
And like the stereotypes of like being a DJ is so easy, you just play a song and that's it. Like, what would you tell people as a DJ, like the difficulty of it, and like you even said, like knowing when to play this certain music or get the crowd going. Like it's definitely like a structured thing, like where you have to like know how to get your crowd going. Like what would you tell people that like just have that mentality of like DJing is just play a song and that's it?
I would say it can be.
Yeah.
It can be that. Like, and we've all seen that, you know? So like DJing is something that there's a nice little learning curve to it. Like you could learn how to DJ in like 2 weeks if you had like turntables.
Yeah.
And that's the basics of it. It's sort of like driving. Like, you know, you can drive your car, but then there's also like NASCAR drivers.
Like nuances to it.
And like the stunt drivers, you know? So there's artists like James Hype. If you guys ever look him up, this dude turns like a set of decks into an instrument. Like he's it is next level, you know, what he's doing. And back in the days they would use turntables and scratch and do that stuff. And so on the technical side you can get really advanced. And then on the other side of it, it's like, what kind of DJ are you? Are you like, if you're playing for bars and let's say even clubs, you know, as an opener, you're not really playing your own stuff, so you don't need to know how to make music. You're reading the room, and that's the talent. If you're an artist, you're DJing music that is your music, so you're basically like, you have to from scratch, like this is all your own music. You have to like carry a crowd through an hour with sounds that you made on your own, and you have to like, and that takes like another level of like experience. You know?
Definitely.
So yeah, so we've all been like at that party with like our friend who has a DJ set and they're just having fun. But I think that's a different.
It's a different level, different tier.
Yeah.
Got you. Where would you say like you're at with your tier right now? Like, because you said the Exchange was one of your first like big performances.
Totally.
Like, where would you say you were at, and where do you see yourself to be at?
That's a good question. So I just turned 25 this year.
Okay.
And I also quit DJing house parties this year. So I hit my 10-year anniversary.
Wow, 10 years.
So I think on the level of like the bar club DJ, I got pretty like experienced just because I spent 10 years reading a crowd, like reading a room, you know? And I'm starting my journey now as like an artist, as my own name. So I have a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity. I have a lot of idols that I look up to, so I'm very opinionated. But you know, I think the hard test of experience is going to shape me into someone a little bit stronger in that area,
for sure.
You know, so yeah, I would say I've kind of passed one stage, and now I'm trying to upgrade into like a slightly more individualistic thing.
Oh, definitely.
When you sit down to make your own thing, not to like sample or anything, what's the first thing you do? Do you since you know how to play instruments, do you start with a guitar riff? Do you start with a keyboard?
Stop reading my mind, bro. Like, dude, that was literally my next question. Like, bro,
when you sit down, what's the first thing?
So it'll be generally two things, two separate things. And of course you have the one-offs, but the first thing is it'll be a melody. I'll like sometimes, and it usually happens like when I'm lying down in bed, like I'll just get like a melody in my head, and I have like my phone with like voice notes, and I can probably pull it out. Like, for you guys, but like me singing or whistling like a melody. And then I'll print that melody down into like my DAW, like my software, and then I'll start trying to build chords around it in a song. The other way is I'll start with a bass line and like drums. So I'll put down like a drum pattern with like a bass line, and that will serve as a foundation for me to build everything else.
Cool.
The third way, which is I guess the least common way, but it's also really fun to do this. I don't know anyone else that does this, but I'm sure it happens. Is I'll take acapellas from other songs that I really like. Like, so I'll take like, if there's a Halsey song that I really like, I'll take the vocals from it, and I'll actually like do a remix, like a bootleg remix of that song, and then I'll just take the vocals out, and I can put different vocals in, and I have a new song. So I use those vocals to inspire a track, like an EDM track, and then I'll take the vocals out, and I can put new ones in, and now it's an original track.
That's sick, actually. Wow. Yeah, it's just different. That's a different song.
Completely different song, but inspiration with that. How long would you say it takes for you to do something with option 3? How long would that?
So that's actually the quickest one.
Really?
Yeah, because when you have like a strong vocal leading a song,
it automatically
literally
like,
it just inspires
Yeah.
music. Like, so I think the quickest I've ever tracked an idea down, like start to finish, was 3 days. Like I mean, like fully produce the song. I also have songs, by the way, that I've been working on for like 2.5 years, and I'm still yeah. So sometimes it just takes forever.
Yeah, it takes time.
But sometimes I made a song yesterday, and I put it out yesterday.
Wow.
In one day.
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes it just happens. Like,
it just
it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
I always get like, it's always so fascinating to me because I've seen it firsthand with like artists I've worked for, like filming wise, is like doing the like what you do, like the melody and like doing a voice memo of it. Like I can't even think of a melody, but like I just think of other songs and do melodies. Like how does that like? I don't know if this is a hard question to ask. I just don't know, how do you even like come up with a melody that hasn't been done before? Like, because I try to do melodies.
There are only so many chords.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So here's what I've found. When you're trying to come up with a melody, it is the most gruesome, depressing process like ever. I have had so many moments, like I'm not kidding. I've had so many moments sitting at my desk with like my hands over my face, and I'm just like, I need to quit now. My parents were right. I need to go be a doctor. You know? But then, like I said, literally 3 nights, whatever, this week, I was lying in bed, and the melody for the song that I made yesterday, just it came, like it didn't like. It sounds so cheesy.
No, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
Like I started hearing it. I wasn't even thinking about music. I think I was like kind of like maybe lucid, like falling asleep. So it literally just kind of like happens.
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah.
And I think you can also, not to be too like cliche, but it's not something that like I think I was born with. I think that because I've made music a focus of mine, that's what comes to me.
It's how your brain works.
I think if you were like, let's say you decided next week, like I'm gonna put like I want to do music.
Yeah.
And you start doing a lot of music, your brain will just start coming up with some stuff in that area.
Yeah. We've experienced that in different ways, like for writing.
Yeah,
like
for writing
movies,
that's true.
Like
that's
I went for like 3 weeks without adding anything to a script because I couldn't think of absolutely anything. And then all of a sudden I was running errands one day. I went to the gym and I kept adding quick notes to my phone. I was like, every 30 minutes I would get another idea.
You're not thinking about
it. Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true.
What kind of like you're making like short films?
Short,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So for us as a crew, we're all in the process this year making like short films and narratives and all that. We're in the process of making one right now. So I get that. Like my location, I've said this before, is the shower. My location,
shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts. It always happens. Like if it's a dance video, if it's like a photo shoot, or if it's an idea for the garage sessions, like what we need to like post on TikTok, or if it is a script, like the script I'm writing, like it always just comes like random. Yeah, that's right. It's just different aspects.
Planning like dance moves, like
Hey, I mean,
room. No, that's doing all day. All day, Dylan's just fucking moving around.
Dude, always. There's not a time where I'm not.
That's awesome.
What is the biggest thing? I don't know if you sort of answered this, but like going with the question of like with the same melody and like I don't know how you do that, but how have you gone through it? Like the difficulty of like saying like, oh, this melody's happened or this melody's not good enough. Like, how do you go through that struggle? Like
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's I think that is the struggle, right? And
it's
I don't
the
think
bane of all artists.
Yeah, and because music is such a, it's like the biggest biggest what do you call it? Like creative outlet like people have, you know, like there's so many, like, so how do you like get out of that imposter syndrome?
I think you have to remember why you started. And that's what gets me like going is I'm highly like, as much as I make music, I'm also like I think of myself as very highly visually imaginative. So when I'm like daydreaming, I'm daydreaming of when I'm, you know, what it's gonna look like when I make it. You know, like I went to go see an artist that I really like this last weekend named Mal P. He came to LA, and after his set on the drive home, I was just like imagining myself like I want to be like that. You know, he came from nowhere, you know, and now he's playing this huge club. Like, I can't wait till I do that. And so I try to remember, like, why did I start, you know, and I think it's easy to forget that, especially when you start getting technical with whatever you're doing. If you're writing, dancing, making videos, it's easy to get focused in on the competition and also just like the process and overanalyzing. And then you forget, like, the reason I started making movies is because of that Spielberg movie or like whatever, you know? So you got to remember that. I really think that's the key.
I like that. Bouncing off that, like remembering that. And I think what you said earlier too, just now is manifestation. I think I learned that a lot. I talked about that a lot last season, but I think the power of manifestation and saying, like, I can't wait to be there, like what you said, like, I think that's a huge thing. And like, if you keep saying that, keep repeating it, it's just going to happen. And you're just going to force yourself to do what you got to do to get there.
It's, you know what I think people don't fully understand like how manifestation works sometimes. And I think you kind of just like explained it the right way. It's a lot of people think that manifestation doesn't work because if I just imagine, let's say like, I want to be a DJ, a famous DJ. If I just imagine myself like being a famous DJ, then how would that actually make it happen, right? I think the other half of it that people don't realize is that manifesting is like, it's almost practicing. So it's like, okay, I want to be, let's say, Avicii, right? Or like Martin Garrix. What did Martin Garrix do every day? He probably wakes up at like 8, starts writing a song, okay? And then he does this and he does this and this. What if I start manifesting that by just acting like him? Right. So I'm gonna manifest it. So I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do this because Martin Garrix is doing that. So if I do that, then I might manifest his results as well. So like I totally agree. Like I imagine what I want to see, and then I try to like act like that person.
Implement that in your life.
Yeah, totally. I think anyone can do it too. It's just about believing, like, and putting in the work. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
I was going to bring this up at the end, but since we're talking about making music right now, Crossed Festival is doing a song competition, and Sean released a banger on Instagram. A banger. So his tag is right there. Go comment on it. So tag Cross so they see it.
Well, hopefully this episode's out by then.
It's okay. It's okay. The sentiment is more.
The sentiment is there.
Is a good point.
Otherwise, just
when do they?
I don't know. They haven't said. I mean, the festival is in like 2 weeks. So
okay. So this episode will be not out.
Yeah, regardless, go to his Instagram and listen to the song. It's a good song.
Go listen to a song.
I appreciate it. No worries.
Going with like your music and your song, do you want to release an album? Like, what's in the works for you?
Yeah.
Like, you dropping singles right now?
I've been working on an album for like 3 years.
Ooh.
Excuse me. So I have an album in like that I've been working on, and I need to start putting out like singles for it. The reason that I haven't is because I kind of struggled with like the concept of it. It came from a very like dark place. So like when I was in college, I went through like some rough stuff with like relationships and stuff. And then I started writing this album. And so that just writing the album actually helped me get through a lot. Yeah. You know? So and then I was like, when I finished the album, I kind of felt like, okay, like, or not finish it. When I got most of the songs down, I felt like, okay, I'm in a better place. So I don't feel like the album itself represents where I'm at now. So I can kind of finish it, put the bow on it, and like put it out. But I also don't know if it serves me right now.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, you know, I think I probably just should put it out. Yeah, you know, just put it out.
Do you want that album or albums that you release? Do you want the whole album to kind of have like a one coherent message to convey?
Yeah, it does. It starts off with a speech. The album would be called. It's just called Chaos. And it's a speech about like yin and yang, and it's about how when you live your life, like if you want to get out of a dark place, if you want to grow as a person, you have to like trudge into the darkness, right? You have to like push yourself from order into chaos and put yourself in uncomfortable positions. And from that, you'll find peace and you'll grow. So that's where like the idea came from. I was watching the speech and it just like blew my mind. So it has that unifying concept. And throughout the album, it starts off really dark. Like the album is incredibly dark at the beginning and it starts to get lighter as it goes through. So by the end of it, it's
like light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. So
like that.
that's the general concept of the album.
Yeah,
I like that.
But again, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I think I need to just
Yeah,
I just need to send it out.
Yeah, because either way, you're just still gonna tweak it no matter what.
Yeah, and even let's say I spent 10 years on it, if I put it out, I'll still be thinking that snare is too loud.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah,
we're talking so good about like DJing and all that. I want to kind of go into that dark place too. Is like, what's one thing you don't like about DJing, and maybe if you don't like it, like if you can change it, what would you do?
Yeah, that's
or
like
the music industry.
Yeah, I was gonna say the DJ
industry.
culture, the music, like what?
Dude, everything.
That's crazy because we had this. We were just talking about this, like music. Because I was involved with the music industry as a videographer, and I've sort of seen like what goes down and like how the business works.
People do not know anything about how cruel it is.
The music industry is nutty. So let's go to the music industry and then even the DJing culture. Like, what's one thing you don't like about it, and like maybe you could change? You would change.
I think everything there's like a yin and yang to it. So everything that I say there's a negative, there is a corresponding positive to it. Like the reason why it's even there. But I'll give an example. So I was talking to some people about playing at Time Nightclub.
Oh, nice.
On the 24th for Audion, who's a good artist that I really like.
At Costa Mesa, right?
Yeah, Costa Mesa.
Yep.
And in order to play there, if you're not the headliner, which obviously I'm opening for him, you need to buy 2 tables. You need to like bring, I don't know, however many heads, right?
Yeah, people.
And that kind of like, so I'm used to the whole, you need to bring this many people, sell this many tickets.
Yeah.
That's normal. You know, if it's a business, right?
Yeah.
But that's where like the DJ culture is headed. It's like the headliner is making anywhere from $10 to $150,000 for an hour, right?
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. If they're worth the money, then I have no problem with that at all.
For sure.
But then the guy who's directly below him on the bill is spending $5,000
just to play
there,
like an hour before him.
Yeah.
So I think that discrepancy bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I get the business. I just it's weird how I'll be like, I could DJ, I'm spending $5,000 to play, and then the guy who comes and like trades USBs with me is getting paid $100,000 to play. And I'm like, what the heck? Like,
and you're the one starting up, right? Like, you don't have.
I mean, granted, they're famous, right?
They're getting people in.
It's just a crazy like difference, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then also, you know, the standard stuff everyone knows, record labels, like how sometimes they operate like financially, like with them lending you money and that whole thing.
Like, we were just talking about that. That's crazy. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
you know.
I know. We know. What would you going to the record label? Would you want to be signed? Do you want to go independent? Like,
I think
what's your goal?
Totally, like, good question. I think the EDM world's in a really good place with labels. I think a lot of bigger artists, because EDM started out so subgenre, like it started out so small, and it just exploded.
Yeah,
it's still like a new thing, even though it's been around for 10 years. You know, so a lot of the labels that are out in the EDM world are created with the fact in mind that labels can suck. So I look at like Musical Freedom, which is Tiesto's label, or Stamped Records, which is Garrix's, or just like there's like hundreds of them. And they kind of have the artist in mind. So I'm not too worried about that. If I were to start producing more pop stuff, then I probably would need a lawyer.
Yep.
You know, and like, again, frankly, I can't speak on it too much just because I haven't been in that room yet. I hear from other artists and what to be wary of, but it can be like a Shark Tank with labels.
Electronic music seems like the artists and the audience of that genre is so like, it's like kind of removed from the rest of music. Like I feel like rap and pop and R&B, like they could kind of mingle within each other.
Yeah,
but if like EDM, I feel like they're like their own like culture,
own world.
Yeah, like it's his own world.
I agree.
What do you think? Then what do you like going with that? That was my good segue. Is like, what do you the collaboration of like you as a DJ and then bringing in like a singer or like a rapper into your song, like what Skrillex just did with what's my favorite song?
Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble. That shit's
a cool song.
That shit is crazy. But like, he just did one Kid Cudi today. That's crazy.
He dropped 2 albums 2 days in a row.
Albums?
You don't know this?
Skrillex?
I mean, not many people do. It just happened. But like, he dropped an album, and then the next night he dropped another album.
That's crazy.
And he was playing Madison Square Garden, which like it's like all over my TikTok now. And
that's
like,
crazy.
He just like on the mic was like, "Hey, by the way, like, I
just
dropped the second album." Like, like what the heck, dude? Like,
That's so funny.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? Like, do you like doing that? Do you like when
it's
artists
amazing.
do that? Like, because I know there are some songs. Like for me personally, like when there's like a good beat drop, like for a DJ, there's a good beat drop, and then sometimes like the singer, like like just ruins it. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I've definitely made songs with singers that I thought, you know, that singer didn't do what I wanted, like to them to do for the track. You know?
Yeah.
I've also like done tracks where I thought that singer just saved the crap out of my track.
For
you
sure,
know?
for sure, definitely. I feel that.
And I'll say this: I think the best EDM comes from artists who merge genres. So Avicii, he's such a cliche, but he took country music and he took EDM and he just made like 4 Radio 1 hits and like took over the scene. And then you took Skrillex, who took dubstep. Dubstep is made from reggae originally.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So it's called. It started off as reggae dub, which is they took reggae and they started putting synths over it.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into dubstep.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he like on his new album, he has a song that's like Arabic. It's like straight up just an Arabic singer, and it goes right into like a hard EDM beat. So I think when you marry genres, it's when like you make cool stuff, you know?
As a DJ yourself, how do you do that though without fucking it up?
You fuck up a lot first, and then you finally make something that's like, okay, this was cool. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Gotcha.
I'll tell you this. On my laptop, I have over 200 dead ideas. Like stuff that some of them I spent maybe a week, like a full week on, and I was like, this is done, you know? And maybe 1 out of like 50, I'm like, okay, I can probably use this later. So you have to screw up a lot. Music is like a lot of just, I heard someone say this and I really liked it. I think it's also, I think it would apply to writing and what you guys do a lot too.
Okay.
It's like when you're an artist, people ask the question like you did, how do you come up with a melody or an idea? And I think sometimes it comes to you, right? But also sometimes you're discovering it as you're making it. And I think like a lot of artists can relate to this. Like when you're writing a script, you don't know every twist and turn you're going to make when you start. As you're writing, you're kind of generating this. So it's this weird process of discovering what you're making while you're making it, which is the coolest. Like that's what the fun is.
Yeah, the process.
Yeah, and that's fun, right? So I think you mess up a lot when you do that.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you strike gold and you're like, this is new.
Totally.
How did you switch that mentality? Because I know for me personally, like I hated failure and I hated all that. Like but now like I'm understanding to accept the failure and to accept like fucking up and the mistakes because it just makes it better. How did you learn that mentality, or did you just always have that?
I never did. I had the opposite of that mentality, and it's the reason why it took me so long. Like I started producing when I was 18, and I was produced for my friends and like other artists. It's only recently that I started putting out stuff now. And it was getting older that actually changed it. Yeah. Because I don't know how long it's been now. It's like 5+ years. I've been thinking like, I'll get there. You know, when it's ready, when I'm perfect, I'll put it out, you know? And then I turned 25 and I was like, dude, like I'm almost 30.
Where is it?
Yeah. Like I can't be doing this anymore. Like I have to just go and fail. So I think seeing that like, oh, I'm getting older and I still want to like get my dreams done. I think that makes you realize like you can't be, perfection is the enemy of like progress. You know? So
have you seen it's crazy we're talking about this. Have you seen the documentary Stutz?
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
By Jonah Hill, and he talks about like with his therapist. It's basically a therapy session. And one of the things they talk about, there's no such thing as the perfect snapshot. Like there's just no such thing there. Like, and then they talked about the 3 aspects of reality, which is pain, uncertainty, and constant work. Without those 3 things, life is boring. You're not gonna get where you're going. So accepting the failure, accepting that there is going to be pain with it, there is going to be uncertainty of it. Like that's that's where the path leads to.
I think it's so true. Yeah, I think that's the cruelty of life and the beauty of it too. Like,
yes,
you have to suffer to get where you want to go, and suffering doesn't have to mean like horrible things. But it's like, all right, are you comfortable?
Yep.
All right, go be not comfortable. You know, like if you're comfortable, you're probably doing something wrong. You know, so I think as a kid, you want to be comfortable all the time, and as a young adult, you start realizing like, okay, if I put my finger out of my comfort zone a little bit, you know, what's going to happen? And you realize slowly that like, oh, like I learned something or I grew a little bit. Yeah. So I agree with you. And I think I haven't seen the documentary, but what you said makes total sense to me.
Gotta watch it. Yeah. You gotta watch it. Everyone gotta watch it. It's the best therapy session I've ever had.
What was it called again?
Stutz. It's his therapist. It's his therapist's last name. Okay. Stutz. So it's really good. But also had another question and it flew out.
No worries.
Great. Love that.
Well, so I wanna actually ask you guys something. Yeah. So okay. So you're writers and obviously other things as well.
I'm mostly an actor.
Mostly an actor.
This short I'm writing is like first time I'm writing a thing.
No way. Yeah, okay. What made you want to switch?
Well, acting is still the focus. The thing that I'm writing it's like a very personal project. Okay. I don't know if writing will continue after this, but I'm having a good time writing it right now. And
okay, so it was just something that you wanted to do.
Yeah. Acting is the focus. I'm mainly an actor.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
I started taking it seriously right before OSHA, and I was a freshman, so right before freshman year of high school.
Very cool. You went to OSHA?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The three of us did.
Very cool. Yeah, I have a couple friends that went there. The first thing I wanted to do before anything, when I was, again, very young, junior high, was acting. I went to the South Coast Conservatory, like acting school. Yeah. And then I think I realized it wasn't for me. Yeah. But I have friends who love it. So, I'm happy for you that you're pursuing that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was, Theo. I had such a great time with Theo. Theo was hilarious. Such a good time with Theo.
Yeah. Theo's so creative. Like when we were filming the Castle Park kids sketches, just like he would come up with the most ridiculous like characters and just like stories out of thin air. Yeah. I don't know. I think some people have a bug for it, like you, and it shows. It's awesome. Yeah. So. Definitely.
Sorry. So your question, you were gonna ask about writing, and then I interrupted you. Sorry.
I forget.
You said when we were writing, and then I said no, I'm an actor. Sorry, I interrupted your question.
Fuck your acting, bro.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. It's okay.
I ruined the episode. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
And this is where we cut. This is when he's fired. He's out.
That's okay. All right, guys. Well,
he's out. I got my question back. What is your least favorite genre of music?
It's gonna cause in trouble in this one. One day I'm gonna be like where I want to be, and then they're gonna like pull this clip up. It's gonna Sean Khari hates this.
Okay, we won't say hate. No. Hate is a strong word.
What genre do you prefer not to listen to?
Okay,
there you go.
I'll be completely honest.
Let's stir the pot.
And by the way, I'm gonna preface this by saying that although it's not my preference, I respect it. Okay. And I respect the people that listen to it, and I understand that they might find joy in it. Okay?
No disrespect for people.
No disrespect. I don't think it's a bad genre of music. I just think it's not for me.
I hope it's what I think it is.
Me too.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I'm going to say screamo for me is not my favorite.
I don't even... what is... Yeah. I thought you were going to say country.
I like metal. I like rock. But screamo specifically, I don't know what it is. I think it gives me anxiety.
Yeah, I feel that.
To be honest,
I had one moment where I enjoyed screamo. One. And it was before track meet in high school where we were like getting pumped up and someone blasted it. And I was like, okay, I get this. And then that was it.
To be honest, I don't even know what screamo is. What? They're just screaming. They're just...
Yes. So imagine metal, like hard metal music.
Okay, Metallica. We'll say Metallica.
Like double the intensity and like the distortion. And then someone is screaming very loudly over it.
Wow.
I've seen people who love it, and like I think my sister likes it too. So no hate.
Interesting. I thought you were gonna say country because
I'm pulling up a clip of screamo for you.
Oh, cool. Let's see that. Yeah. Wait, no copyright. We gotta mute that. But show me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But mine is country.
Country. I'll say this. I don't like country very much either.
We have a big fan of country in the building.
No, we have multiple fans of country. We have
Oh, Johnny. I like Johnny Cash.
Okay, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, like I like.
I fuck with me some Johnny
Those
Cash.
guys are more like pioneers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But like this kind of, it's like. Wow.
I get the anxiety thing.
I get the anxiety
stresses
thing.
me out.
Yeah. There's this TikTok video that's going crazy where it looks like they're like in a church or like in an auditorium and they're like people are just like punching each other, like going crazy. Have you seen that video?
That's the scene from Kingsman.
No, but like they're literally like going insane where it looks like a school auditorium and there's just these like grown men with like crazy tattoos and a band playing. They're just like pushing and like that's insane. Like that give me that's
here's the thing though. I will say this. I feel like it would be really fun to like it. So although I don't,
I get it. I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
Loving Screamo and then going to a Screamo concert and just moshing looks like a lot of fun if you enjoy that music. You know, so I can't. I will say this. I didn't know that people moshed to dubstep until I went to a festival that was playing dubstep. It was really funny. Beyond 2017, I went and they had a dubstep tent, and I like dubstep has become a lot more aggressive over the years. It used to be like Skrillex, stuff, and then it got like really hard. And I kind of fell out of love with it a little bit. And we went to this tent, and the entire tent was just one rotating mosh pit, and people were just pushing each other and like going nuts. And I had a friend of mine, like a really close friend of mine, and I kind of just nudged him in, and he disappeared. And it was the funniest thing. We were just like, "Where did Esteban go?"
The idea of moshing sounds fun. Like I see, I coach, like I see moshing, and I'm like, I want to come do that with you guys. I'm just too scared of getting hurt. Like I feel like I'm gonna get hurt, and I don't want to.
You're saying you want to get hurt, dude? I'm a short motherfucker, so I'm just gonna be dead. Like yeah, but like
Emme moshes. I'm just kidding.
If Emme mosh,
it depends on the crowd. Like I have seen mosh pits where people are it's just shoulders and people are kind of doing that. I've also seen mosh pits where people are like throwing elbows at each other.
Yeah, if it's like just jumping around and like just like
that. You're not supposed to be purposefully elbowing people.
That's just like beating the shit out of people.
I do like those videos I see where people are moshing and some fool like falls and everyone's like, get him up. Like it's like it's a community thing. It's a community thing, but like
I'm gonna hurt everyone with 10 feet.
Like my first festival was Day and Night.
Great festival.
Yeah, it was an amazing festival. It was surreal. And there was a mosh pit and it looked so fun and it's my type of music, so I'm like, oh, I want to do it so bad, but like all these dudes are like 6 foot, like almost 7 foot. I'm like it's 2 feet compared to you. Like I'm like scared.
It's fair. No, look, I don't think you're alone in that feeling. The first time I ever saw a mosh pit and participated in one, which is the only time I did, was I saw DJ Snake, and he does this thing called a wall of death, which is insane.
My God.
He splits the crowd like it's the Red Sea, and then the buildup comes and everyone just basically runs together.
Insane.
But everyone was nice in that crowd. So it was fun. It was fun. It was like, okay, let's all like, but
I like that. I like that. Now, what is besides EDM and what you do? What is your favorite genre? Like, what's like the thing when you go in the car? Like, oh, I'm gonna bump this.
I would say like, I like two things a lot. I like old like Stevie Wonder type music.
I like that. Yep.
And then I also like Giveon style, like you mentioned. I think that's like where the modern R&B / hip hop era is right now, and that's the front of it that I really like. I think there's a lot of emotion in it, and I think it's pushing the scene a lot, and so I genuinely enjoy that. It's also my sister's like sole favorite type of music. So whenever I'm in the car with her, I have to listen to it. So I was shown it rather than me finding it. And I really liked it.
Nice.
I think hip hop is really interesting right now too. I think it went through like kind of a rough phase in the last couple of years, and then it's kind of on the up again. Some really cool artists.
Definitely, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of music in general, right? So although I mainly like house and EDM, I like everything, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's important not to get too tunnel vision with your interests.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it'll get boring and repetitive, and then you won't like anything. So
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it seems like you know a lot of genres that I don't know because I don't even know screamo. What is like the most absurd genre you've come across of that like you think no one has heard of, and like?
And then I'll look it up as soon as you.
I have an answer to this. It's really funny. It's funny how like cyclical conversations and thoughts can be. I was thinking about the exact thing we talked about. How can I marry two genres together? And I was thinking like, what's something that I can do that no one's ever done? And then I started thinking, what is something that would just be hilarious? And I found yodeling dubstep, which is the funniest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Can you please look that up?
Yeah,
right now?
I don't know if you can find it maybe on YouTube, but like,
Is that copyrighted? Can I play that into the microphone?
I don't think there's that many yodeling
Dubstep?
labels out there to come after you, but
yodeling.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's,
It's just really enjoyable to watch. You
Okay.
know?
Wasn't the Who doing that last year?
They did. I don't know. They did throat singing, but they weren't like EDM.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yodeling dubstep.
This is.
Oh, dude, I found a guy who makes on TikTok. He makes throat singing house.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll find that and I'll send it to you guys. It's so fun.
Does
I thought whoever came up with that must be very creative.
That's funny.
That's crazy. So are you trying to merge those two? Or
No,
what?
definitely not.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen,
Definitely
man.
not
Yeah.
touching that. Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I think that you know, that I wouldn't want to disrespect the artists who paved that road. I think they did it better than I could ever do it.
That's so funny.
Okay, what are two? This is a cool question. What are two genres that you like the most outrageous genres, and you combine the two?
Okay, we could do a little brainstorm.
Yeah, brainstorm session. We're gonna come
We're
out
gonna
with.
make your next track right
Yeah.
now.
We're gonna
on
make
the
his next track. Watch it. It's a collab album.
So I was gonna say like metal and EDM, but I think that's been done. If you know an artist named Illenium,
That does sound familiar.
he makes like kind of like a rock. He was originally, I think, I don't want to. I'm not too sure. He was in some sort of like rock / metal / something band.
Yeah.
And then he became Illenium. So he makes a lot of like very rock inspired EDM, which is very cool.
Oh, apologies.
That's been done. What is like? I can't imagine. I feel like it's not.
Or
just
just let's
Country and reggae.
Yeah, let's just make
Wow.
some crazy shit
Boom.
up. Like yours is
Boom.
country and reggae.
Country and reggae.
all right. We'll do it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Give me my laptop.
Screamo and
Screamo
jazz.
and jazz. That's in.
Just like the most
Who's writing this
contradictory.
down?
Who's writing these ideas
Yeah.
down? They're already
Screamo
copyrighted.
jazz.
You cannot do this. So
Funny.
I think what an interesting formula is taking something that's very popular and then merging it with something that's totally not. So like imagine like let's say either hip hop or
I was gonna
house,
say hip hop. Let's do something with
right?
hip hop.
So hip hop or
and
house, those are the two kind of like main genres,
Yeah.
let's say, of like radio. So you take hip hop and then like you said, like screamo. Screamo hip hop would be really interesting to listen to.
That'd be insane.
Reggae hip hop would be cool. That might have been done before.
I feel like that's
Reggae hip hop.
Yeah, reggae hip hop could be
Yeah,
done.
but yeah, I mean, this is like this thought process that we're having right now
Yeah.
is actually
yeah.
like a very productive type
Yeah.
of thing to do. Like this is the kind of stuff that like if you are trying to be a little bit more thought out with your music,
Yeah.
planning out what you want to try is a good idea, I think. And so this is like I love these kinds of conversations.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so dope.
I do have a question. It's kind of to switch gears though. I think like one of the biggest things that artists our age kind of struggle with is like trying to pursue their art and then work. And especially if the work has nothing to do with what they're doing. So do you work? Do you do something that isn't DJing to support you DJing?
Yeah, not anymore. I finally was able to take
You
a
made
break
that
from
leap.
working.
Yeah.
So when I was in college and I got accepted into Icon Collective, which is like the dream school, that's right when COVID hit. So I graduated in 2020.
Oh,
and
wow.
COVID came.
Yeah.
in the school, you're basically going there to learn how to make music at an industry standard way. And then it's also because you're like in this hyper, what's the word? Condensed like world of what you're doing. So it's really good for networking. It's really good for just, you want to be there. They turned into a Zoom university for like those 2 years.
Yeah.
And I withdrew my application, and it was just like, I didn't want to just go on Zoom and
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job. I went into finance.
Okay.
And luckily,
Yeah.
you know, things worked out. Like I was able to make some investments and kind of just like get to a point where right when I turned 25, I decided I'm not working. Like I'm gonna take 2 years and I'm gonna just do this.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I can do that, and like we'll see how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And if in 2 years, if I'm not where I want to be, I'll go back to work and I'll keep working on
Right.
the
Totally.
side.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
You're giving yourself a time to just focus on.
yeah, thankfully, and you know, I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed. But and I also like, I feel like I have a lot of support within my friends and my family.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, it also helps to know that, you know, you have an army like with you.
Yeah.
Definitely,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Like
for sure.
having an army of people who support you, like even Milad, right? The fact that like he was like, "Hey, do you want to do this podcast?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he's
people
like-
don't know. This is actually one of very few guests that you and me didn't know beforehand.
Yeah. So Sean is also friends with a couple of our other guests, though. Anthony Lucido, Arya Zarifi,
Theo.
and Theo Iyer.
yeah, but yeah, that like what you said, the army, and like if he didn't really support you or whatever, you wouldn't be here, you know.
Absolutely. And that's actually something that I think it's kind of like a off-topic thing, but I notice I have some friends, excuse me, who have become really successful in their music career, and we're still very close. But sometimes I see them like not change, but I see them become
Affected.
They start filling this icon role of like, you know, being above people at a certain level. And what I've noted is that the most successful people that I know of have this ability to just absolutely drop that when they're talking to people. And the reason why that's helpful is because like you never know when an opportunity is going to show up.
Yeah.
You know, like
Or who you're talking to.
I'll say this. When I played at Exchange, the guy who got me the gig at that Exchange, I met for 30 seconds 2 years before I played at that club from a mutual friend. I met him at like this bar. My friend introduced me, and then he saw that I was putting out music, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he did. I didn't know anything. And I tried to be very nice to him.
Yeah.
And then he saw what I was doing with music, and then he gave me the
go
gig,
ahead.
right?
Yeah.
And so
That's
like
crazy.
I think it's very important to treat people with respect, and I think it's also important to understand that like you are never ever going to get where you want to be in life if you treat people like they are beneath you. It just doesn't work. Like I think even if someone has done something against you, like just being peaceful and kind of like treating them with a certain level of love, it will serve you in the end. Like I learned that, you know, thankfully through like my friends, like they've shown me that. But I think it's important, like really,
Totally.
just like treat people well. Like they'll give it back to you.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
for sure.
Like,
What comes around goes around. That's like
Totally,
the big thing.
yeah.
That's a big thing. Well, off that note, man.
Yeah, what a nice note to
What a nice note.
Yeah.
But we're gonna end it on a crazier note. We got the question of the day.
We do.
It's gonna
Already
be
locked and loaded.
Oh, really?
It's already
I had
locked and
another
loaded.
one too.
Oh, great.
We'll do two for
right,
this
sure.
one.
Oh, here we go.
So yeah, you already know question of the day. We ended on a light note, and then we do some random shit right now. So
Okay, beautiful.
You want to go first?
yeah, mine isn't. So I don't know what yours is.
Mine
but-
is music related specifically.
Oh, mine
Yeah.
is music related too.
That's insane.
swear
We
to
didn't
God,
talk about
we
that.
didn't-
We didn't talk about that.
I swear to God, if it's
That's-
like the same shit, we had this the first episode where we guessed we had the same movie.
Yeah, that was crazy
It's
too. All right,
insane.
go. You go.
I feel like it's gonna be
No,
same
you go,
shit.
you go, you
It's gonna
go.
be same shit. Usually it's would you rather, right?
Okay.
Mine is
So ready for this. Okay.
would you rather listen to only screamo
Oh, okay.
your whole life or no music your whole life?
Oh, we do have the same fucking question.
Dude,
What?
that's insane.
It wasn't screamo, but it was like your least favorite genre, or
well, because he said he did. He
It's
necessarily
okay. Well,
did.
here, we'll do both. It's fine. It's cool. Don't worry. I want to hear your question.
it's okay. I have another one.
No, it's the same question. Yeah. So
Screamo or no music?
or no music.
I'll go with screamo.
There it is.
But you can only listen to screamo.
Yeah, only screamo your rest of your life or no music at
Because
all.
music,
Like you can find.
I'll say this. I might be wrong, but I would bet $1,000 that the music you listen to today sounds nothing like the music you listened to 10 years ago. And the reason is because your tastes evolve, right? Like we all do. So eventually, I will
learn to like screamo,
and then I would have at least one genre to listen to.
That's funny.
You don't think you would be annoyed just listening to screamo all?
Well, I mean, maybe if it was the same song, maybe
if
it's an entire genre,
it's
it'll keep
genre.
moving.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I feel you.
I had two, so I'll do my other one.
That's insane. We had the same question, though.
That is pretty nuts.
Dude, we should kiss. What?
Okay, part one of my question, though, first involves you, if you're okay with it, sharing a very embarrassing moment from your childhood or your teenage life or anything.
Okay.
If you want. You don't.
Yeah, no, I'm an open book. Okay, I can do a DJ related one.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
So when I was just starting out, I was in college and I started DJing not house parties. A friend of mine, he was throwing an event for Halloween, and he said, "I'm gonna rent out a nightclub. We're gonna throw this huge party. I'm selling tickets, and you're gonna DJ." And I was like, "Dope!" Like, there, nightclub. I'm doing it. And then so I go with him to the nightclub a week before, and I'm talking to the coordinator and the people who own the nightclub, and they have two sets of like mixing equipment. They have CDJs, which is the standard like high quality mixing stuff, and they have something called Technics. And Technics are like vinyl. They're very old school, and some DJs they have like a preference for it. But I don't know if you've ever like used a vinyl disc before.
Yeah.
When you're playing it, it doesn't play in a constant speed. You know, it kind of wavers in speed. You get that wobble and all that stuff. So DJing with Technics is like it's a very different thing, right? Because you're not like just beat matching. You're beat matching, and then you're constantly fixing the tempo of the song, constantly. And I'd never DJed with that before. So I go there. The guy asked me, "Okay, what do you want to DJ with? Do you want to DJ with the Technics or do you want to DJ with the CDJs?" And I said, "I'll DJ with the CDJs.
Yeah.
Please."
We're not doing that.
I show up the night of the event, and it turns out the club had sold the tickets for the venue, but they had also opened the doors, meaning that they said, like, we're doing this event for Halloween, but also people can come, and I am not going to be DJing the thing. I'll be playing from like 9 to 10:30, and the house DJ is going to be playing. And he plays on Technics, and it's too hard for him
to switch.
Put the CDJs and to switch to Technics. Oh my! And this was the first time, and like this was me, like, you know, it's kind of like an ego thing. Like I invite all like these people, like my family, friends are there. Yeah. I show up and I got
the Technics,
and I'm playing a nightclub in somewhere in San Bernardino.
Yeah,
and I'm playing off of the laptop because I can't use the Technics. So I'm literally in a nightclub with my back to when I'm 15. Yeah. And I'm like DJing with my mouse and eventually, dude, it was the worst thing. The house DJ, who's like kind of like this like macho kind of cocky guy, comes up behind me with his crew and they're just doing this. And they're just and eventually I look at him and I'm sweating, right? Yeah. My cousin and like my family's there, and then also the guy who like organized the event, he's like looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. So I just look at him and I take the headphones off, like super scared. I look at the DJ and I was like take over. Yeah. And he comes in and just starts and I was like, dude, I just hid in the back of the nightclub for the rest of the night. Like this is the worst night of my life. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the embarrassing story, right? So would you rather be forced to think about this memory or relive every single day, or 1 month out of the year watch it happen on loop?
Ooh. Or relive it. You should relive it.
Or relive it, yeah. 1 month out of the year, I have
to
relive it.
Or every single day you have to think about this memory.
Okay, so
I'm sure he thinks about it every day. already.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm just here for support, man.
Felt supported.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Okay, so when you say think about it, you mean like it's in the
Like
back
be
of my
reminded
mind?
of the memory every day.
Okay, like once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that.
That?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay, dude. I'm humbled constantly.
Yeah.
There it
That's
is.
true.
Yeah, it's
I
good
like-
to remember
that's
how
fair.
much you used to suck.
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Would you say that was like your worst performance?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I've had bad nights. Sorry, I know we're ending, but one funny story. When I end of my like house party DJ career, the worst party I ever did was someone booked me. I didn't know who they were. I show up, and the entire party is above the age of 75. And there was like maybe 50 people there. Mm-hmm. And they had set up, it was like a big living room with couches lining the entire room. And I set up, and no one danced the entire day, but the couches were full. So I'm in a room.
Are they like surrounding you?
Yes,
Like
I'm in a room DJing with maybe like 30, 75 plus year old people staring at me like this for 3 hours. And that wasn't like, anything. It wasn't like a club or anything.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably one of the things that made me like stop DJing those things, but
that's just like an uncomfortable thing. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's just like
yeah. I was just like,
It's like,
why
what did
I
they
didn't look
want?
up,
Like,
dude.
yeah.
Like, I imagine standing somewhere for 3 hours in front of people and just not looking at them.
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
great.
so yeah,
That's so
so
funny.
I'm grateful that's done.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
there it is. That's
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so
me,
much,
guys. It was a blast.
Dude, we love this.
Yeah, you
I
guys-
His
love
tag
this
is right there, but for people on listening, if you want to shout out your tags.
Where can they
Yeah.
find you?
So I'm on Instagram and TikTok right now, Sean Khari. On TikTok, it's Sean Khari Music. And then also on Spotify and Apple Music, Sean Khari.
Oh yeah.
Starting to drop stuff. I put one song out already on there. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
There it
Beautiful.
is. And
And for you guys, once again, like, subscribe, drop a comment because you love us.
exactly.
Do
And
it.
season 2 is gonna be crazy.
It already is crazy.
It
because
already
you're-
is crazy,
You're 5
man.
episodes into it.
You're 5 episodes in, and
Yeah.
we're just not stopping. So hope you like it, and we'll see you next.
Thank you.
Just do the damn thing.
Peace.